What's going on? Mgtow Righteousness coming back at you with another video early in the morning. I'm up because I'm working out usually around this time, but I was also thinking about a lot of stuff was on my mind, so I decided to put it out in the video. And the thing I want to say is about mixed African Americans like such as myself. It's kind of a shame. I feel in a sense how our own culture rejects us, and how the other half of us gets rejected as well. People are gonna lie and say that's not true, and we accept African Americans. They love lying too. They always say we accept all shades and all that bullshit, and that's not true. You know, I've never felt inadequate, but I've never felt equal, or I've never felt, loved amongst my people, or I don't even know if those really even are my people. I don't know what I am. Like, what I mean is, you know, and I know a lot of African Americans or mixed African Americans could feel the same way that I feel like you was different, you never liked all the shit that, you was raised in the hood, you know, everyone was gang banging or selling drugs or doing something evil that you knew in your heart that you wasn't going to do, and you knew you wouldn't have done it no matter what your struggle was. And because of that, you were looked down upon or frowned upon or looked as inadequate or weak, in a sense. And and it's a pain, and you have your other half too that doesn't really accept you for who you are because you're not a full, you know, I don't know, whatever you are, full African, full Jamaican, full, whatever. It could be Asian, whatever that you are, You have a disconnection from a group of people that look like you, and it's kind of confusing and mind-boggling on what to do or what you should do. And I mean, I guess if you look at me, you would say I'm African American, but I don't feel African American at all. And then when you tell people this, they say it's your fault or you're racist or you're a traitor. Well, how could I be? I've never been accepted. I never was the one that was loved at the family reunion. Never was the one that was enjoyed upon at the family reunion. Motherfuckers would try to use me, for anything they could get. I was never the one that people, looked up to or thought that I was the cool one or whatever the fucking case may be. I was never that. I never had those opportunities. And I know there's people out there that are like that too, but that's not the point. The point is there's a huge disconnect, with at least with me, and I know of this with me. I know other African mixed, mutts or whatever feel the same way. It's a void that is not is hasn't been fulfilled, and it's a shame because I have no people. I don't know who or where I really come from. Like I have a family, but I act nothing like them at all. Like not really. Like you know, I have a Jamaican side, and they like a lot of Jamaican shit. And yeah, I like it to a certain extent, but it's not. I didn't. I have a Jamaican side, and I don't know who. I'm not really all into that stuff as if how they are, and I don't. It's a shame, and maybe in a sense, me not being fully accepted. I don't know. I'm not trying to make no excuses for nobody's life, but maybe in a sense that's the reason why I personally don't have no children at 26 years old, or don't have a girlfriend or a wife at this age, or have my life figured out or whatever the case may be. You know, that's just how I feel. People gonna tell you bullshit in your ear to make you feel good, but that's not the truth. They're not speaking the truth. They're just trying to make you feel good. Trying to make somebody feel good is a lie, and I've learned that now. Telling someone the truth is the harsh reality of what it is, and maybe that's why I'm not in the best position financially or whatever. I just don't get it sometimes. And maybe that's the reason why I can't focus because I feel like I've been abandoned and betrayed and left out to the wind. And that's just how I feel. You know, like I don't have like a home base. Or like I'm always on rogue. I'm always alone, and everyone's alone. Everyone's always gonna be alone, but people have a family. You know, members that look like them or they can really relate to, and you know you guys know what I'm talking about, what a family is. As a mixed mutt or whatever, or half breed or whatever you want to call me, I've never been fully accepted from both parties of my family. And I know it's like that for a lot of other mutts or half breeds or whatever. You're confused, you don't know what you are, you don't know who you are. you know and because of your gentle nature, because I think is either you, if you're a half breed, you either eviler or worse, eviler, either worse than a pedigree, because the loneliness of not knowing who or what the fuck you are drives you insane, or you're just you're soft and you're alone, and you're a simpleton. Ain't nothing wrong with being somebody simple. As long as you get what you want, ain't nothing wrong with that. You know, but I just feel very disconnected from the most of the people in my race. You know, it is a shame. I honestly feel like mixed people or mixed, African. I feel like we're our own race. In a race that looks get that gets looked down upon in a way. By society. Women and jobs and all that dumb shit. I mean, I think jobs, if you're a half breed, it's better on. I think it's better for you to get a job because they're not. You don't have all. I don't know the stigmas of a dark skinned lanky nigga or whatever, or a dark skinned nigga period or nigga period. You know. However, when it comes to women and doing other things and shit, you're not looked at the same. You're looked at as a devalued. You're not really valuable. Uh, I guess because I don't know why, but just the way it is. So I was thinking about a lot, and in my past I've broke down and cried about this situation because you feel a void. No matter what nobody says, no lie, because when people make you want to make you feel good, they lie to you. So I feel there's a void there that's never been filled. And maybe I don't really have the answers. I truly don't. But I can honestly say I've never felt a part of my family or the family that I have. I've never been close to the family members that I've had. Everyone's been distant, and and they got through their own trials and tribulations and stuff. But I've never really had I never really had a home base. Of who I am and what I am. As weird as that sounds, but it's just the truth. Even from growing up, I've always been the oddball. I've always been different. I never liked Jordans or uh, the Flash, or I was never good at basketball, and I was never the biggest guy. Maybe those things made me humble, but I felt like you should be accepted for who you are, your personality. But that's not the case. I guess it's what you could do, what you could produce. Which makes sense. I ain't knocking nobody for that, but people want to get mad at me for me feeling this way, and then when something happens, they people want you to defend them, like fuck out of here. I'm not defending you. Who are you to me? I obviously ain't nobody to you, so fuck you. You know, and that's just how I feel. African American, mixed, mutts, half breeds, whatever you want to call us. You know, there's always been that void and just that disconnection. And I feel like there's no hope. There's really no help. But just stay true. Just keep praying. Mgtow out.